Okay. Now, that's better. That's better. So it's going to actually take place in about 5 seconds. So please forgive me. Yeah. Now. So for those of you that are already watching and that are already here, that's better. Yeah. So all those of you that are already here, if you missed the retreat, yay, you didn't miss much, but you did miss the retreat. So it was interesting. It was amazing. It was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed you guys showing up. And I don't have my pictures yet. The pictures are not there, but the pictures will be there. And so I'm going to spend some time just talking. Let me get this chair out of my way. Yeah, that's the chair, people. I'm going to spend some time talking about some of the things that took place in that particular thing. It was wonderful. We had a great time. We had some good food. We had some good fellowship. We had a whole bunch of great things. So for those of you that are on Instagram, you can stay on Instagram today. We won't be mad about you. We won't be mad about that today if you're on Instagram. But it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. It was beyond my expectation. I could not have asked for a better conference, and I could not ask for better people. But I want to talk about some things today to kind of get us on track for where we're going from here. And once we get to this next level, I want us to be able to operate at a different level. So, the first thing, now, everything I noticed, that everything that happened there happened for a good reason. Everything that took place. I have never met a bunch of people that are so harmoniously together that actually enjoyed each other and enjoyed all of those things. It was just so wonderful. And thank you very much for those who did, for you guys that came by. So let's dig into some things here. Okay, first of all, number one, I talked about something called the New World Order, and that was, everybody liked that. Everybody found their favorite thing, their thing that they enjoyed the most. Second thing is talking about the business of how to do certain things. And the third thing we talked about was just fellowship, being together, being in one place. So I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to go on down this road to help you get into this whole mentality. Now, today I want to talk about truth in manifestation. The truth in manifestation. I want you all to know, I need this over here so I can see that. I want you all to know that the multiplicity of your growth is the environment that you're in, the people that you're around, the things that, all those things that are happening in your life are the people that you're around. There are a number of people that said, hey, I'm going to move to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I got a real estate person that's looking at that right now, and all those things. So, I'm sorry. This can't be a great place until I do the great things. Hi guys, my name is William Dallas. My name tag is somewhere, I'll find it. I am a part of the Higher Standards organization. Today we're going to talk about It's a New Day. Yes, welcome to the Higher Standards organization. Again, I am your host, Pastor William Dallas. Today we're going to talk about It's a New Day. And the way we're going to talk about It's a New Day is two different things. There's Jeremiah 29:11. And that's the one that most of us, we see that one, and that's the thing that we deal when it comes to thinking about something new, how God sees it. Then there's Isaiah 43:19. I need to make sure I write that one down. Isaiah 43:19, that's the one we want to. Yeah. Isaiah 43:19. But Jeremiah 29:11 is where we all go. 29:11. So, you know what? We're going to get rid of the old Bible. And over here is the old Bible. This is the new Bible. This is the old Bible. So take the old Bible, put the old Bible over here. Yes, I know, and it's new and crispy. So somebody at the conference gave me this, and apparently my wife had something to do with it because it was the exact Bible that I had in the first place. So I don't know how she did that. So let's go to Isaiah first. We're going to go to Isaiah, and I need you today. I'm going to talk to you because I want you to understand some things. Isaiah 43. Come on, Isaiah. Isaiah 43. I want you to understand some things about where you are right now. Where you are right now. Last night and I love our mentoring class. Last night on the mentoring class, one of the young ladies asked us a question, and the question poured out into something else. So within that poured out to something else, and I would think it was Teresa, but poured out to something else because you asked a very good question. So here's the deal. So Teresa goes, okay, how long do I do? What do I need to do? And I'm paraphrasing it because if you missed the class, then unfortunately, I didn't even record that class last night. And so today I am taking my trusty highlighter and I'm going to highlight the 19th verse of the 43rd chapter. Okay, so I'm highlighting the 19th verse of the 14th chapter. And it's a new day is where we are. Now, it's really 18 and 19, but I'm highlighting just 19. So, when you look at this passage, you see some of the instructions that it takes for you to get a new day. And I'm going to teach you some things for those of you that are ready to get out of your situation, to get into you want new relationships, you don't want new money, you want new changes, you want changes. What I'm about to teach you right now will help you. Take good notes. Yes, the YouTube will be there, and I understand you can go to the YouTube. If you are not watching those YouTubes at least twice, if you're not watching them at least twice, it's not really getting into the spiritual part. You need to watch them at least twice. There's one to hear, one to listen. One to hear, one to listen. I need to go back and listen to them myself, and I'm the one that taught them. There's one to hear, there's one to listen. If you really want to do, there's one to hear, there's one to listen, and then there's one to inundate. It's repetition. One to hear, one to listen, and one for revelation. One to hear, one to listen, and one for revelation. Write that down. One to hear, one to listen, and one for revelation. Okay? One to listen, or it's actually one to hear it, you hear it. One to listen to it, and number 3 is one to get revelation. So if you got that, write that down. So now we go to this thing. What is the change that you want to happen in your life? What do you want to take place in your life? What do you want to see happen in your life? I want a new relationship. I want a new house. I want a new car. I want a new life. I want to know my purpose. I want to know the plan for God has for me. I want to any of these things, all these things that I want to know. Those things are things that I want. Hello. So I want to know the revelation. Yeah, the phone. I want to know what I want to know. What do I want to say? I want a relationship together. All these things. If you want a change, in your life. Today is a new day. That's what you must know. When you understand that, you understand that there is something that God has for you that you have to realize. And when you understand that, you realize that this. What's up, Will? Will's here. Yeah, you understand that when you look at Lamentations 3:22, that says you know what? Let's write that one down too. Lamentations 3. Okay, Lamentations 3:22 through 23. Okay, and when you notice this thing, and so what you have to realize is there are a couple of constructs to what you're doing. So, what is the thing that you want to change? I don't care if it's one thing. I don't care if it's 5 things. What do you want to change? I want a new car. I want a new house. What a new change. Now, all those things are products of change. They're not representatives of change. Say that again. All those things are products of change. They're not representatives of change. And in order for them to be changed, in order for them to actually be changed, you have to understand the foundation of all those things. I want a new house, I want a new car, I want a new relationship. Those are all products of change. Now, if you look at Lamentations, the 20, I think I have it written down here. Lamentations, the 22nd chapter, and it says, in the Lord's mercies, for it is of the Lord's mercies that we do and not consume and fail not. For his mercies are new every day. Great, how great is his faithfulness. So let's imagine this. Every day is an opportunity. So every day is a brick added to what you want to do. But here's the key. For those of you who came to the conference, we tried to do the matrix, and he said there is no spoon. So the spoon bending is a product of you changing. Get it? The spoon bending is a product of you changing. So that means in order for you to get something, there has to be a change. You have to make a change. In order for something to happen, you have to make a change. So what do you want to happen? Now, let's say that you want a new house, okay? You want a new house. I talked to, when we said that to the young lady, she said, well, I'm going to finish my master's degree, and that's great. Finishing the master's degree is great. But you have to see yourself from the person that makes a change when they change. Okay, let me make that make sense. When you change, everything around you changes. So those things that you can change individually will bring changes to you individually. Some things that you need to change individually. First thing you have to change is your mindset. When you are trying to bring something to pass, manifest something, or change something, you have to look at it from the level of a king or a level of person of influence. Don't look at it from being influenced. Look at it from a person that influences. Example. One of the things that we talk about business. The capabilities of business is not the amount of money you have. It is not the credit that you have. It is the influence on people to do the job or make the business happen. You think about, when I think of an idea or a thought process, the thing that goes on in my mind is figuring out who can I help with this business. There are three people you need to help. You need to help the people that you're focused on. If let's say you're a counselor, the people that you're focused on, you're helping them. You're helping the people that you can employ to help them, and you're helping yourself. Okay? You want to write a book. Okay? So you want to write the book. You're thinking about the people that are going to hear the book. Who's the book going to help? Who's the book going to help? Then you think about, who can I pay to do the things necessary for the book to help? Then I look at how the book is going to benefit me. The 3 steps. Why? You are not in position to start a business so you can work the business. It's so that you can oversee the business and help the business to move forward. Yes, in the initial stages you move that. So you say you want a house. So the foundation of what do you need to change? What is your consistency? Your consistency is not make more money. It is a part of it, but it is not your number one consistency. Your number one consistency is seeing it as a king sees it, or as an authority sees it. So when you want to change something, you change your level of authority and your level of leverage. I want a husband. Okay, you put yourself in a position where a husband is attracted to you. How do you attract a husband? Attracting a husband is on the level that you want the husband to occupy. Attracting a husband is on the level that you want the husband to occupy. So you want a husband. So in order to attract a husband, you have to attract him well. I want a spiritual husband. So now you become more spiritual, not more religious, more spiritual. Not more Christian, more spiritual. Why? Because that's going to draw him into the spirit. Then you understand the 3 things I tell women. Tell them, number 1, understand business, understand accounting, and understand family structure. Business, accounting, and family structure. I think I'm going to do a teaching on that. So that's what you change that. So when you change that, it attracts, because you are a spiritual being, and those things are attracted by your ability to be spiritual. Does that make sense? So if it's a new day, it means you have to change how you see your present day. Let me help you out with that too. So let's look at this. Isaiah said, remember ye not the former things, verse 18, neither consider the things of old. Don't remember the former things. I know you got hurt. I know your cousin got hurt. I know Pookie got hurt. I know Ray got hurt. I know all those things happen. But you have to realize, you remember not the former things, and know to consider the things of old. So in your equation, those things are there, but those things are not there that would consider your movement. Your failure is a failure of that moment. It is not a failure in your life. Say that again. Your failure is a failure in the moment. That moment was a moment of failure, but it was not a failure in your life. Because what happens is, in time being cyclical, When you fail at that level, which means you now have strength to go to the next level. So failure in any area was not a failure of your life. It was a failure of a moment. And what you have to do, and nobody teaches us this, that means that failure means you have strength and the ability to succeed in the next moment. Failure is not that moment. Failure is only that moment. It is not your life. So you're playing spades, let's say, hypothetically. While you're playing spades, and in the process of playing spades, what happens to you is you lose the game. But that's only 100 points toward the 500 points that you have to go. That means you have to go harder after the next thing. Why? Because now you're equipped with the strength of what you think was failure, but was actually a teaching of how not to fail. And you have the ability to move forward. So what you're doing is creating a new day. And that new day is defined by the strength of what didn't happen to you, or the strength of what you considered failure, and the strength of your ability to go to the next level. So what happens is I start creating opportunities for the next level. So your failure is in a moment. It's a moment. That's all it is. It's a moment. Once that failure happens, you consider the failure, you consider everything that happened within the failure, and you keep it moving. But you don't consider it as the equation to determine whether you can move. Remember not the former things, neither consider the things of old. What he's saying is, in the equation of if you decide to start a business, do not consider the fact that you failed at business. I tried this company last year, didn't work. I tried this company 2 years ago, didn't work. Do not consider the fact of those things. What you consider is the ability for you to go to the next level, because you've already been strengthened in that area. Now, second part of that is, behold, I will do a new thing. It shall spring forth. Now, at the moment that you stop considering the things of old, stop remembering the past and considering the things of old, is the moment that you give access to God. Now, what he's saying in this passage is, you will now be able to see me, because where you open that area up of release, that I feel that area up. Understand something. There are no areas in your life. There are no areas in your life that can stop you from moving forward. There are no areas in your life that can stop you from moving forward. And there are no empty areas in your life. Okay. For every area that you release, you have an area. Okay, so let's do mindset. That's the best way to do it. You have a mindset. There is no empty areas in your mindset. You either believe something or you don't believe it. If you believe something, by nature, the actions of belief cause something to happen. If you don't believe something, by nature, the actions of not believing causes a response. So everything you believe has an action that lines up with your body. Everything you don't believe has an action. Let's say you believe that you can fly. You're constantly looking around in the air going, where's my opportunity to fly? I can fly over there, I can fly over there. If you don't believe you can fly, your mind doesn't even think about flying, so you don't look up. You don't even look around. Planes don't mean anything. You don't look at different things. So the mindset is open. Here's what happens. When the mindset is set, everything that lines up with that mindset is attracted and allowed in. I hope that's not going too deep. I believe I can fly. Perfect example. You get a new car. When you get a new car, that ability, that car becomes a part of everything that happens to you. You see cars just like your car. You consider things. You look at the leather. You start to notice the knobs. You start to notice other cars. Why? Because your mindset shifts to the positive power or the positive spirit that comes through the fact that you're now in this atmosphere. What if you knew a way to take your mind and put it in that atmosphere for things that you don't have yet? For example, the atmosphere of an automobile, the atmosphere of a car, the atmosphere of finances, the atmosphere of business, the atmosphere of a husband. What would happen if you turned that on and it began to attract as well? Spiritually speaking, says, as a man thinketh, so is he. That means that when you begin to think that thing, you begin to attract what's like unto that thing. Got it? And how that works is remembering not the former things, because what the former things do is battle the movement of the future things. Former things delete and slow down future things. You follow me? And so when you understand that, you find yourself in a position where you're going, I want something in the future, but I want something to happen in my life, but. And so what takes place is you're finding yourself in a position where your contingency is the fact of what happened in your past. And that's not why it happened. Your contingency is the fact that when I move those things out of the way and give God those positions. That's what the 5 things of prayer, and I keep saying I'm going to write that book, but I'm going to get some people. That's where the 5 things of prayer take place, when you get out of those things. See, I'm trying to get you away from religious things, not to say that they are bad or good. There is really no such thing. There's obedient and there's disobedience. So now what you have to realize is, how do I make my attraction the things that I want instead of the attractions of the things that I need? They're deep inside of you is the desire to see something greater happening in your life. Deep inside of you is the desire for God to move. The key becomes, it becomes against your reality. If you've been a part of the Baptist church world, or maybe the Protestant church in the simplest world, or the Catholic church, the ability for the supernatural is very, very thin. You don't really believe that God can do those things. Why? Because the captivity of your mind is your past. Your mind holds your past. And then if you take your past and you add logic to it, now all of a sudden you really can't see anything happening. Nothing will happen, because logic and past creates death. If you've never seen healing before, you in turn don't believe that you can be healed. If you've never seen a miraculous thing happen before, you don't believe that you can be miraculous. So now you're stuck in this place where I know God can do something, I just don't think he can do that. Does that make sense? So if there's a new thing happening, in this passage he said, here's how you make the new thing happen. He said, first, remember not the former things. Now, it is humanly impossible not to remember something that happened in your past. You can replace that thought with a better thought, but you're going to still remember it. There are tragedies and things that have happened in your life. Those tragedies that have happened in your life, they're there. But what he's saying is, don't remember. Don't reassign it. Okay. Look at remember. I'm doing it. Good. Look at remember as the opposite to dismember. Okay? Look at remember as the opposite of dismember. Okay? Got it? Look at remember as the opposite to dismember. So when you dismember something, that means that you have breaking it apart into sections that no longer make it look like what it was. They look like they could be it, but they're not the same thing. So when you dismember it. You break it down to the point that you give it no more power, no more strength. When you remember, you take those same parts and you begin to put those parts together to reanimate something that was dismembered. So he's saying, don't reanimate your past, meaning don't try to relive your past. Don't remember your past. So don't put arms back on your past. And a lot of us do this. A lot of us remind ourselves of the past. We remind ourselves of what happened and what people did to us. We remind ourselves of all these terrible things. So we remember that thing. We reanimate our past. So now it's just as real as it was when it happened. Why? Because we can't live any further than that. So that tragedy that happened to my mom, my dad, me, my cousin, we start looking at ways to make it make sense and ways to make it logical. Because science says that you ate certain foods, and science says that you did. And they say that you've done all these different things. So your challenge becomes not to do that thing. But this is a new day. So new mercies are there. So what do you do if you've never felt the Spirit of God? What do you do If you've never seen a miraculous thing, you go after the miraculous. You go after the miraculous at a level that's your level. You put God on trial. You go, I want to see the miraculous. I want to see something amazing. Now, maybe you've seen amazing. You want to see something more amazing. You have to stop trying to make it something that you can control and go, God, I want to see something amazing. Now, it has to be something that when it happens, it doesn't happen in timing, that you don't let go, that you just don't turn yourself down. You just don't flip it over and go, I'm done. It has to be something where you go, I can trust God and wait on God. For some of you, it won't happen. It won't take that long. Some of you, it may take a little longer because right now the pressure that is happening in your life is what you're desiring. God, I want my pain to stop. I want my cancer to go away. I want my diabetes to go away. I want to get rid of COVID. I want to do all these different things. So what happens is you are looking at that thing with the hopes of that thing happening. You need to believe something or pray something that you don't have to add emotion to. You don't have to add thought processes to. By believing for $100. God, send me $100. And then begin to write down every day, okay, today the $100 is closer. Today the $100 is closer. And then begin to understand that when it gets there, you can calculate. It took 7 days for God to do it. It took 7 days for God to do it. But you have to know that He will do it. Why? Because that way is the first way that you begin to move in such a way that God can now begin to show you the other side. So He says, remember not the former things. Don't remember the things. Don't put those things back together. Don't live in that world anymore. Don't live in that world anymore. Destroy that world. Dismember that world. Break that world down. Why? Because what you do is that place attracts that spirit. What you do, that place attracts that spirit. That means that whatever you're dealing with at the time or the spirit that happened back here, that place now brings that thing right back to life. That's why it says don't remember it, because you make it live again. You give it the power that it had when it first happened. You can think about it, don't remember it. It can pass your mind, don't remember it. Now, if that is the case, that means in order for you to go to a different place, you have to now dismember that and rebuild something different. Okay, check this out. Write this down. For every distraction, there is a power. For every distraction, there is a power. Write that down. For every distraction, there is a power. For every distraction, there is a power. Now, what does that mean? That means for everything that is stopping you from moving, there is a power to get it out of your way. See, right now, there are a couple of enemies that are not really your enemies. The first enemy is time. Time is the biggest enemy to your enemy that's possible. So right now in your mind, you're thinking, I want something done and there needs to be done in time. I need time to do it. I need time to do it. I need time to get it done. Because we think of our lives in a complete ending and never a growth of a beginning. Example. You have a light bill that's due. Okay? Your light bill is due on the 3rd. You haven't paid your light bill. Now, nothing's going to happen for 30 days. But now that light bill that's $100, when it gets 30 days over, now you owe $200 plus whatever interest. So now you're at $250. When you didn't have the $100, how are you going to have the $250? That's what happens. That how am I going to get? If I don't have, how am I going to get? If I don't see, how am I going to see? That's the part where the life has been turned into time, and time has been spoken against you, or time is against you. So now you're believing for the 100, when in actuality you should be believing for more than the 100. You should be believing for 1,000. You have the time to believe for 1,000. Right now, there's no pressure. It's off. You don't have it. There's no need to sit and worry about it. You have to now believe beyond the place of just satisfaction and move into the place of abundance. But you have to do that. You have to get to that point. You can't let timing go, oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God, what do I need? Oh my God. You have to start going, it's going to be fixed. It's going to be fixed. If you got to stop your brain and go, it's going to be fixed. It's going to be fixed. Why? Because this attack that's happening right now, this attack that's happening is preparing you for victory. Yeah, it is. This attack that's happening, this is preparing you for victory. While you're trying to figure out all the people that owe you money, all the people that can help you, all the people that can be in position, all the things that can possibly happen, instead of going, it's yours, God. Let's go to Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah 29. Okay. So it's yours, God. It's yours. I can't do anything about it. It's yours. Because at the point that you become vulnerable to the Spirit of God is the point that God takes over. These pages don't even turn. Jeremiah 29 and 11. I'm taking my trusty pen and I'm going through it again. I'm going 29 and 11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then shall you call upon me. Then shall you call upon me, and you shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. That's Jeremiah 29, 11, and 12. Ye shall seek me, and ye shall find me, all the way down to 13. When you seek me with your whole heart. Okay? He said, I know the thoughts I think toward you. You should know those thoughts too. Thoughts of good and not of evil to give you an expected end. So now the mindset that says God probably left me out, God forgot me, maybe I'm not pleasing God, is the mindset that God has never forgotten me. He always thinking about me. I'm always on his mind. Type that in. Everybody can in the comment. I am always on God's mind. I am always on God's mind. I am always on God's mind. Why? Because God says, I know how I think toward you, but how do you think toward me? I know the thoughts I think toward you. Thoughts of good and not of evil. You're not going through an evil point. You're not going through an evil spot. It's a good spot. But you have to see where the wealth is, where the good is, where the greatness is. It's not a bad spot. It's a good spot. He said thoughts of good and not of evil. You have to realize there is not an evil that can overtake you. Nothing can pluck you out of God's hand. There is not a bad way to do that. God has always thinking about the best for you. Your spirit is always trying to bring the best toward you. Your situation is reaching for the best. You and I keep pulling back this old stuff and reminding ourselves, well, I did this and I did this and they didn't do this to me and they didn't do that for me. We have now inundated ourselves with every way to tell us that we are not loved by God. But it's a new day. We are not loved by God. You are loved by God. Yeah, this system looks like maybe something's wrong with your system. Maybe, yes, this system looks like a world order that is against you, but God has not forgotten you. God has not let you go. God has not neglected you. The key becomes we've got to start walking in those areas, because most of us, me alike, we're living in grace. We're living by the grace of God. We're living by the mercy of God, when in actuality, what we need to be living by is the power of what he's already given us. There are several books I need to release. There are several things I need to get into the atmosphere. Apostle Van Zandt, same situation. We're starting to move into these areas and we're living under his grace. You guys came to Charlotte. Guess what, guys? You did it. You did it. You made it to Charlotte. You came through the retreat. You did it. It was amazing. Build on that. Stop building on your failures and build on your victory. Stop building on your failures. I didn't do this, do this. Stop building on your failures. I'm 60 years old. It never happened. I'm 30 years old. It never happened. Stop building on your failures. My mother had diabetes. My auntie had diabetes. Stop building on your failures. My cousin died of cancer. My auntie died of cancer. I live in the hood. I don't make money. Stop building on your failures. And every victory that you have, build on that victory. Build on it. Get behind it like it's the greatest thing that has ever happened to you. I got up and made my bed today. That's a victory. So if I can win that victory, I can win another victory. I got up and I made it to the job. I put the stuff in the post office. I mailed it like I was supposed to do. That's a victory. Everything I did today, I made sure my kids got breakfast. I got up early. That's a victory. I prayed this morning. I got up. That's a victory. Everything that you have is a victory, and you begin to realize that those victories are victories that are there because God has thought something about you. He's opened up a door for you. He's put you in position so you have a victory. He says, good thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. So he expected you to win. He expected your house to be clean. He expected you to make the bed. He always expects good things of you. Even when you don't do them, he'll expect that you'll do it the next time. He expects, because love says, I will always hope all things, believes all things. So I know that you're going to do it. So now you have to believe that when God opened the door and gave you the strength and the power to make your bed, that's a start. When you made it to the post office and did what you had, that's a start. There is a new day. The new day that you're living says, if I can complete one thing, I can complete something else. So now all of a sudden you realize, if I complete the bed every day, if I can do the bed every day, there's a blessing that God will do if I move that every day. So every day I do something. Every day I don't do it because I already did it. No, I do it because every day, the more I move, the more I fight, the more I win, and the more I can win. Every day. Every day. Oh my God, these baby day. Every day. What's my victory? My victory is I have some wonderful children. My victory is they're going to grow up to be great children. My victory is that they're going to love me. They love them. My victory is not the fact that he was a terrible dad. My victory was not the fact that mama's left me and the children. My victory was not the fact that folks disliked me. My victory was when mama disliked me, it made me strong enough to church God. Hunt for God. Look for God. When daddy disliked me, it made me start seeking the Father which is in heaven. When money wasn't there, I started seeking the finances and the bounty of God. When the husband wasn't there, God began to show me how to be in the right place for the right man. Everything is a victory. You have to see the victory. It's a new day. It's a new day. Stop living on the old day. Forget those things that are behind. Press toward the mark for the things that are behind. He said, forgetting the former things, and don't consider the things of old. It's a new day. Today, I need you to write down, what are your victories? What are your victories? Oh, I'm taking pills. I just saw Stacy said, I speak healing even while I take my medicine every day. I take my medicine every day, but I thank God that I'm still on this side. But every day when I take the medicine, the victory is I feel healing inside my body. The victory is, see, when you get into the things, get it now. Let me show you the prayer. You pray, Father, and this is just a quick prayer. You pray, Father, I thank you that every day is a victory. That's your prayer. And you're saying that to God. Then you begin to say to yourself in meditation, number 2, God, I see the victory. I feel the healing going through my body. I feel the enzymes and the cells changing, and I feel the chromosome. Then you begin to praise him because you agree that these two things took place. And then you begin to worship him and say, because God, I love you and I thank you for who you are. Then you begin to speak to your atmosphere. Nothing but healing comes my way. Nothing but grace comes my way. My body is healed. When I drink water, it'll heal me. When I eat food, it'll heal me. I change the molecular structure of everything I do to something that stops killing me and gives me life. I begin to change my appetite. I change my meals. I change my world. Why? Because I know there's an expected end from God. I know there's an expected end. I don't let go. I cannot let go, because I will never return to them that return to the vomit of their past. I will never be a part of them that return to the terrors of my past. I am victorious. I am great. I am amazing. That's your prayer. If you're walking in sickness, that's your prayer. You're walking in, you need a situation with your family. Father, I thank you that my husband is where you want him to be. My husband is doing what you called him to be. I thank you that you'll speak to my husband. Then you begin to meditate. That's the prayer. That's the prayer. Then the meditate is the point finger. The meditate is pointing at yourself. So the meditation says, yes, now I'm going to start lining up because I'm going to prepare for the great husband that God is sending me. So I'm going to be the great wife. So you point up with the thumbs up. You point out, God, yes, this is that. Then you take the next finger and you go, we as the trifold believe that. So now I begin to praise. Y'all didn't know that, did you? I begin to praise because now we got Father, Son, Holy Ghost. And now we begin to praise. Then we forward, the 4, which is the new beginning. Then in the 4th, I begin to worship and love him. And 5, which is the hand of God, which is the grace of God, I now come together and I begin to decree. That means I grab something and I begin to set it forth. I grab it and I set it forth. Don't give up. Yes, I know my neck hurts a little bit and my shoulders may feel good and my back may hurt a little bit, but I still know that this atmosphere is going to produce whatever God says. That's how you remember. You want to remember it? This is how you remember. Thumbs up. Yep. First talk to God. Yep. God, everything's up. Point finger means God, I'm pointing to me and as I'm pointing to the world. Third finger means there's a trifold happening. That's the third part of prayer. 4th, which is new beginning. So the 4 things take place. 5, which is the grace of God, which is the hand of God. That means that now I'm in the perfect place with my prayer. The atmosphere is perfectly there. And I begin to decree this thing. I speak to the atmosphere that lines up with my body. I hope that helps you make sense. It makes sense. You follow me? I don't give up because I feel like giving up. I don't give up because a victor never gives up. A warrior never gives up. They never give up. They never give up. It says, for I know the thoughts I think toward you, saith the Lord. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Verse 12. Then shall ye call upon me, and go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. I will hearken unto you. When you know the thoughts and God's expectation of your life, when you know what God is saying to you, when you know for sure, like my friend said, for doggone sure, when you know for doggone sure God has not forgotten you, not let you go, you then create a path of manifestation. You're in a new day. You're in a new day. What do you need God to do right now? Right now. What do you need God to do right now? And whatever you need God to do right now, how do you feel about God doing it? Do you believe God's going to do it, or you think that maybe it might not happen? Or you're reminding yourself of why last time you trusted God, it didn't work. I remember when I was doing last time you trusted God, it didn't work. We as a culture and we as a generation, we tend to reflect or define our tragedies as our lives, and our blessings or our accomplishments, we think that they're kind of haphazard, that just happen. We think we're lucky when things happen good. We say that. Oh man, I was just lucky. And no, the tragedies are lucky that they got to you. The tragedies are lucky that they got to you. Say it again. The tragedies are lucky they got to you, because you live in victories every day. Every day you get up and go to the bathroom, that's a victory. Every day you go and cook a meal, that's a victory. Every time you say hello to your children, that's a victory. Your victories are happening more than your failures. So every time something fails, that's an anomaly. Failure is an anomaly because it's a training. So anything that is tragic, that got to you. It snuck and got to you. It doesn't mean that your life is a failure. It means it snuck and got to you. And so one situation brought another situation, and what you have to realize is that within those situations that happen, God has now got a path. So when your husband left you with 4 kids, God already put together a path to get you to where he promised you'd be. You gave up because you were so hurt and you were so broken and so distraught because of what he did. So you gave up. But God goes, the moment that this happened, I already had a path. All you had to do is stay on the path. The moment you lost your money, God already had a path. You just had to stay on the path. You kept giving, you kept blessing, you kept loving. The moment that sickness snuck in and got to you, that sickness was an anomaly. The moment that it hit you, God had healing already there for you. He already had it. What if it was something that's it was in my bones or a brain disorder? God can heal brains too. But you cannot let go. God, this does not belong in my body. I am a temple of God. I carry the ark of the covenant. I am the ark. Anything that touches the ark unrighteously dies. Did y'all know that? You don't give up. You keep saying, oh, no. This sickness does not belong in my body. This sickness does not belong to me. What you have to realize is when that thing happens, God already made a plan of escape. It's what Corinthians says. There is no temptation that is taking you, but such is common unto man. But God is faithful not to suffer you more than you are, but with the temptation, with the situation, with the circumstance, make a way of escape. Make a way of escape. Where is my escape, God? How do I get away from diabetes? And begin to sit down and you take your pen and your paper right there and you sit down and say, how are we getting out of this? Go ahead, I'm listening. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Let me get a clear picture. What are we doing to get out of this, God? What are we doing to get out of it? Bless you, Father. What are we doing to get out of this? This is not my natural state. What are we doing to get out of this? And I will wait. I will sit. I'm going to pray. Hallelujah. I will see you Monday morning at 9 o'clock. If you don't answer, I'm going to see you Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. If you don't answer, I'll see you Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. I'm going to see you Thursday morning at 9 o'clock because I know you're going to answer. And I'm going to be there when you release that answer. I'm going to be there when you say, I said, God, I wasn't born to be poor. I wasn't born to struggle financially. So what's the plan, God? What's the situation? I'm going to be there every single solitary day, just like on Love and Basketball. I'm going to be there, not Love and Basketball, whatever, the movie. I'm going to be there every single solitary day until you play my song, until you play the words, until you release it into spirit. Well, I don't hear like everybody else, but baby, I'm going to be here till I hear. It's a new, hallelujah, it's a new day. I'm glad we made it through the retreat. I'm glad we made it through it, but it's a new day for Pastor Dallas. It's a whole new day. I'm moving toward victory. I'm going to wait for the victory. I'm going to keep on moving because I know it's. I'm waiting to get there. You got to speak to me, God, or I'm serving the wrong God. You got to show me how to get out of this thing. If you told me to do something and I forgot to do it, thank you for your grace. Give me the time to do it because I'm going to do it. Whatever you give me as a plan, because you got thoughts toward me. They thoughts of good and not of evil to give me expected end. I'm not thinking about what happened in the past. I'm not considering the former things. I'm looking to God, who is the author and finisher of my faith. So I'm trying to figure out what you need me to do to get out of this. And if I've not done it, give it to me. Thank you for sustaining me, God. Thank you for sustaining me through the process and not letting them take my life. Thank you for sustaining me through the process and giving me the things that I need. Thank you for sustaining me through the process and it didn't take me out. It didn't take my children out. So guess what, God? What are we going to do? What we going to do, man? Your mercies are new every day. That's why I'm not dead. Oh God, they took my toe. Okay, no more toes go off my foot. No more toes go out my foot. No more drugs go into my system. No more diagnosis from people that don't know God. You tell me what to do, and that's what I do. Use Prophet Dallas. You use my friend. Use the TV. God, I don't care if you use a dog. I need you to speak from heaven into this situation, and I'm remembering not anything that you didn't do. Well, God, I don't care if you didn't speak to me in 1965. I don't care if my husband left and you didn't tell me about that. I don't care if people lied to me. God, today is a new day. I wipe that stuff away. I forget those things which are behind. I don't consider those things, and I begin to think, you tell me what to do today to start me on the path to get me what you called me to have. I'm a king, God. I'm not supposed to be living like a servant or a pauper. I'm a king. You made me a prophet, a priest, and a king. Let me live that life. What do I need to do? Guess what? I'm going to see you at 9 o'clock. When I tell you guys, when Pastor Dallas tells you, the prophet kicking in, I'm trying to hold him back. When Prophet Dallas tells you that you need to be seeking him every morning, and you go, I was tired today. It's not worthy. It's not worth it to you to be out of it. You don't really want to be out of it anymore. You just want to feel good. I don't have time to feel good. I'm trying to get free. And free means me getting up and praying every morning and consistently getting to that place and not considering the fact that, well, I got to go. I don't have to do nothing but get free. As the angel walks in the room. Hallelujah. Nothing but get free. That's my job. That's my task. Nothing but get free. You're forgiven for whatever you did to me. You're forgiven for the lies you told on me. You're forgiven for you hating on me. You're forgiven. I don't have time. I don't have time to deal with petty-minded people attempting to do petty things to bring down a king. I don't care. I'm a king. You're going to talk about me. I would feel kind of bad if you didn't talk about me. Why? Because I'm a king. And I'm going to make decisions that you may not like. I'm a king, I'm a priest, I'm a prophet. So when I pray, I know the adversary is going to try to attack me. That's what they do when you pray. He tries to stop you from talking. All kind of things on your mind. But I make adjustments. If I got to turn on music, if I got to cloud the room with music to make sure that I can stay in prayer, then I become a prophet. That means I decree a thing. I don't just decree it when it feels good. I decree every time my lips part and my tongue forms a consonant, I will now decree. This will not happen to you. This will not happen to your life. This will not happen to your circumstances. God is there. He's going to fix it. Take note. He's going to do it. I came and watched a bunch of people sit in this retreat. They slowly begin to open themselves up. Apostle Van Zandt began to pray, and people begin to shake because what was happening is your religiosity was battling with the freedom of the spirit. Now it's a new day. The conference is over. Everybody got to meet everybody. Now it's time to get to work. You're not supposed to be broke. You're not supposed to be broken. You're not supposed to be lonely. You're not supposed to be by yourself. You're supposed to be free. So if you're not free, then you need to get on the path of freedom. It's a new day. Don't remember what happened last week. Don't remember what the ex-husband did. Don't remember any of those things. What you begin to remember and think about is today. As I get up in the morning, as I begin to pray, I don't look at my cell phone. I turn on my gospel music. I turn on the thing that makes me begin to remember that he loves me. As they say, he sits high and looks low. Remember that he occupies my spirit. I got to remember that I am the tabernacle, that anything that touches me unrighteously dies. So I got to begin to remember who I am. So I don't roll out of bed to go get on the television. I don't roll out of bed to get on the phone. I roll out of the bed and I get my pen and say, God, it's today the day. Are you going to speak today? Because I'm here because I know you can speak. It's today the moment. I roll out of bed and I sit and I give God some praise. I begin to pray. I begin to meditate. I begin to praise. I begin to worship. I begin to decree. Why? Because one of these days while I'm sitting there in my place, he's going to speak a line. And when he speaks that line, all of a sudden my life is going to change. And when my life
life changes, I'm going to keep on speaking because I don't want the changes to stop. He's going to open up my life. Because see, when I get down before him, the atmosphere changes. The men all pause. The moon pauses. The sun stops in its place. Everything because God is coming to see about his child. He's coming to see about me. Why? Because he occupies wherever the Ark of the Covenant is. And baby, I'm the Ark. So that means wherever I am, he's there. All I need you to do, God, is speak. Speak through the television, speak through the birds, speak through the moon. I don't care, God. You can write it across the sky because I'm going to be free because I'm yours. Amen. 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 Good morning, family. So God, here I am. Here I am, Lord, waiting for you to do what you said you were going to do and for the situation to be through. Here I am, Lord, waiting on you. Here I am, Lord, waiting on you to see me through, to do what you said you do, for this situation to be through. Everybody that can, I want you to type, it's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. I am tired of the struggle. I'm tired of the struggle, Lord. I'm tired of it. I didn't ask to do this. I didn't choose to do this. You did not choose the magnitude of the calling that's on your life. Some of y'all just say, God, I just want to live. I just wanted to be able to, have a job, have a husband, have a life. I just wanted to be able to be just in my life. And you put me in this position where it seems like everybody is attacking me. And God says, no, it seems like everybody is trying to move you to the place I've already called you to be. Whatever your biggest challenge is, you take that challenge, you give it to God. And once you give that challenge to God, you give God the opportunity to fix it. And once he fixes it, you stay on that flow. And you keep staying on that flow until that flow changes and moves you into a different direction. Because it's a new day. You should be excited. It's a new day. I'm excited about this day. It's a new day. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can slow me down. It's a new day, and I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy about it. My body feels better, guys. I'm not tired anymore. I'm excited. It's a new day. Today, all day, it's a new day. Those things that are happening, that are seeming to be against you, that are seeming to take you out of God's movement, that are seeming to attack you, go look and figure out where God is in those situations. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't throw in the towel. You've already won this battle. You're the tabernacle. Can't nothing touch you unless it has the rights to touch you by God. Right? Right? I love you guys so very much. I really do. I love you so very much. I was so pleased
with everybody that showed up. And everybody that can, make sure you let's start putting stuff on Beyond the Bible hashtag. Let's just take that hashtag over. I don't care what it is. Put your special notes on it. You feel a word in your spirit, put it on there. Put it on there. Put it on there. Yeah, put it on there. Tell people you're part of the Higher Standards organization. Let's take this thing to a place that we take over that hashtag. Yeah. Just keep talking about the things that when you learn something today. You learn something today, go on the hashtag and say, today I learned this. I learned this. You want to get it in your spirit, go to that hashtag. Go and take your little video. It's a phone. It's a phone. Take the phone, hit the phone, do this, boom. Hey, this is Uncle Dallas. Today on the live, I learned that I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give in. Don't give up. Don't give in. Hit save. Type on the bottom of the notes, hashtag Beyond the Bible 22. Send it. Stop being afraid. It'll help you get moving into actually posting on your live. Do it on do it on Instagram, do it on TikTok. Beyond the Bible 22. Beyond the Bible and Beyond the Bible 22. All right? All right. You know the drill. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, go to Instagram or go to TikTok. That's where we're going to go right now. Those of you that are a part of this organization, thank you very much. I appreciate you. God bless you, and God bless everything that has happened in your life. Father, I thank you for power, strength, and ability. Bless the works of their hands, and we'll always be mindful to thank you. Focus, give us a drive toward what you've called us to do. Help us to keep reaching and keep calling until something takes place. Push, pray until something happens. We love you for it, God. We thank you for it. I'm Uncle Dallas. I love you guys. You've just been brought to a higher standard. Peace.